Aaron, everything that he's been through, I don't think I'm strong enough to go through that. And just seeing his perseverance, the never give up mentality, everything that was just the odds of life stacked against him, and for him to just, okay, I'm here, and I'm gonna still be here.
The night Aaron was born, I was staying in a town called Sawyerville, Alabama, and all of a sudden, I just started feeling like these contractions, and very
she was
painful.
Telling me about the contractions, then I was thinking it was like Braxton Hicks, and I was like, oh, you okay? Just calm down, relax, everything is gonna be okay. But she kept telling me the pain was getting worse.
And the nearest, I guess, decent hospital was about 45 minutes away where we were staying at. And so once we got there, they got me right upstairs. Doctors came in, and everything was just moving so fast. They came in and did ultrasounds, and they could pretty much see that Aaron was almost here. And I was only 23 weeks and 6 days. What was going through my mind was like, this is way too early. But there was nothing we could do to stop it.
They were trying to say, oh, let's try this, let's try that. But everything that they were trying to help slow the process, the labor down, it wasn't working. We just started seeing people come in with gowns and putting the slippers on, the operating slippers and everything, just getting ready for delivery. And we were looking like, wow, he's about to come.
Thankfully, Aaron, he came out, he was moving, he was kicking, he had his little leg up.
Yeah.
And so the nurse practitioner that delivered him, she said, we're gonna give him a shot. And they took him and put a tube in him, and so. I
think my best moment of Aaron's birth was when they took him over to the incubator, and she looked over and she was like, what is his name? And we was like, Aaron. And she said, hello, Aaron. And Aaron just picked up his hand and waved. I was like, wow, he is trying to fight. And so from that moment, they took him and started our journey in the NICU.
I remember the day that Aaron was born extremely well. They called me from work first thing in the morning as I was getting ready and said, hey, we've got a micro preemie getting ready to deliver. If you want to come on in a little early, that'd be great. So I got to work early that morning, and Aaron was there. It was evident right away that Aaron was a fighter, and that he was going to be a tough little dude. I think one of the most inspiring things to me about Lauren, Daniel, and Aaron is just their positivity. In the NICU, you have to be sort of blunt at times. It's hard to really sugarcoat things because it's important that families know the challenges that they're gonna face. And just Lauren and Daniel just always, when we would explain these things, they just met them head on. Everything was just sort of a matter of fact of like, okay, this is gonna be a challenge. This is how we're gonna face it. We have faith in the Lord and we're gonna get through it. And it was just so inspiring to see that. It was inspiring to me then, and it's still inspiring to me now to see the way that they've continued to meet those challenges that Aaron has had head on. There's nothing about having a micro preemie that's easy. It's not anybody's picture perfect idea of exactly what they hoped having a newborn or having a toddler or having a child would be like. There are challenges that come up from the second that baby is born from then on.
Okay, sir, this is you at 4.5 days. I just want you to continue to know how much we love you, how much we can't wait to hold you. We are happy that you are here, and we know that you are continuing to fight. That's all we can ever ask. We love you. When they took him back to the NICU, the nurse practitioner, she stayed behind, and she had the initial conversation with us about Aaron's prognosis, different things we need to look out for. She kept telling us that this was going to be a roller coaster ride. And one of the things to really look out for were brain bleeds, especially, and just making sure his brain bleeds and also his breathing.
Yeah, it's some of the things that are associated with the brain bleed. You have seizures, vision, hearing loss. You have what's called hydrocephalus, where basically fluid builds up in your brain and it's not able to drain properly. You have not being able to walk, talk, eat, all those kind of things. And so sure enough, Aaron, that's exactly what happened. He had the worst brain bleed possibly that you could have on both sides of his brain, which is a stage 4 bleed, and basically all of those symptoms and challenges is he has those.
Day 6, it was after he had the brain bleed. He was already on the oscillator, which is this machine that just pumps air into him, and it was just shaking his whole body. And he started to develop the seizures, and it was a rough day. All day it was a really rough day. And eventually, around 10 o'clock that night, Matthew, his nurse that had him a lot, he said, just go to your room. If things develop, we'll call you. About 2 hours later, he calls. When I went in, it was just like all of the machines that he was hooked up to, they just started going off. His oxygenation started to drop, and just a bunch of personnel just came into the room. And the only thing I could do was just put my head down and just started praying. And after about 10-15 minutes, he was okay. I mean, okay for his state. And what they call critically stable, right? And when I saw from where he was to where in 10-15 minutes later, I saw that he was going to fight. And I knew that I made a declaration that day that as long as you fight, I'm going to fight for you.
They said as long as Aaron wants to live, we're going to let him live. And that inspired me. And see him now after 5 years of what they had told them, and see this kid still fighting. We know his condition is a very harsh condition, but he's a strong young kid that's still surviving. And that's my faith in God, that given me the opportunity to be a granddad with my grandson for these many years. So that's very inspiring.
Aaron came to us when he was 2 or 3 weeks old, and he had a condition called necrotizing enterocolitis, and he had a perforation in his bowel, which is a normal type of problem that babies as young as he was have. He was born at 23 weeks gestation and was 1.3 pounds at birth.
He was initially transferred to our unit for intestinal perforation, which means he had a hole in his intestine.
So he came to us that day, and I knew right off the bat that he was a fighter. He was a very strong little boy.
Lauren and Daniel are and should be an inspiration for a lot of parents, and they both fought and advocated so well for Aaron the whole time he was in the hospital with us. They were there every day, and I feel truly blessed to have been able to know them.
My best memory of Aaron is that he loved being sung to, and one Sunday afternoon he was upset about something, and I put my hands on him and sang the Hush Little Baby lullaby. When I looked up from the crib, there were two of Lauren and Daniel's friends standing there, and then they asked if we could sing together, and we all three sang hymns and choruses from church, and then we all put our hands on that crib and we prayed for Aaron.
Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness.
I will always remember the determination and the fight that he had for those 219 days of his hospitalization.
So while at Birmingham, they did all that they can do to help him and to get to the point to be able to afford to take him home. And they had a due date, a discharge date of October 1st. And when they told us that day, I was like, man, that's the best birthday present ever, right? Mm-hmm. My birthday is October 1st. Mm-hmm. And we were going through the whole process of discharge. And I looked over to the right, and he was blue. His face was blue. Mm-hmm. And so they had to do emergency resuscitation and everything. He didn't go home on my birthday. It was, I think that day, like Lauren was saying, there were many days where it was rough for her, and the whole time I was trying to be strong. But that day was the day I had to leave, and I just went to the car in the parking garage, and in the car I just flipped. It was just, I couldn't take it anymore, and just crying out. It was a week later? Yeah, after they got unstable, it was a week later. We were able to take him home after that. And it was a great ride, but it was scary at the same time, because it was like, okay, do we have everything we need to if we have to pull over and help this boy?
When we got there, we had a warm welcome. The people that we work with on the campus were there. They had signs up and they were cheering, when Aaron finally came home, and they had signs up in his room that we had ready for him. And it was just a warm welcome, when we got there, and it made us feel special. The challenges that we faced at home were just adjusting to, just taking them, back and forth, us trying to work like Daniel was saying. I was more so at home, trying to, work and taking care of Aaron also.
Last year, he started to take a turn for the worse when it comes to the frequency of hospital visits. The palliative care team, they wanted to talk to us about the different options that we had for Aaron's care in the future. And they brought up hospice. And when I heard the word hospice, I'm like, no, hospice is giving up.
I felt the same way when I heard the word hospice. It's a scary thing, to face, and realizing that your child is in that situation to have to make that decision. But I really do think it was the best decision we made for Aaron.
We became more educated on exactly what hospice is for children. and hospice is basically the motto, the declaration that I have for Aaron, is to give him all of the support and care that he can have, and to fight for him as long as he wants to fight.
They've helped us out so much with just being able to do as much as we can here at home for Aaron without having to take him so much back and forth to the hospital. We've been able to get the equipment that we need. We've been able to get a child life specialist that comes to the house to work with our kids, with Aaron, helping them to better understand as much as they can what's going on, and having a doctor on hand basically to come to your house to check on your child for you rather than having to take them in. And so those are the different things and resources that our family really needed, because it did get tough. Like Daniel said, we were probably in the hospital like once or twice a month with Aaron because he just kept getting sicker. And so since then we've had more breaks, and I definitely think, I definitely think that it was something that our family needed, and it came at the right time for us.
I'm Dr. Sharon Bell, and I am the lead pediatric hospice physician with Hands of Hope, but I also am Aaron's primary home hospice doctor. So I usually introduce myself to the families as I'm going to be your home doctor and help talk to your doctors at the clinic and the doctors at the hospital, but I'm your at-home doctor. Hands of Hope is a home-based organization to provide both pediatric palliative care and pediatric hospice care. It's all palliative care, so it's all the focus of what we do is on keeping patients comfortable, meeting the family's goals of care. It's not our place to say what the families want or should do. It's to come alongside them and support them in whatever decisions they make for their child. Aaron was referred to us because just like many neurologically compromised kids, whatever the cause of that compromise was, he chronically aspirates. Things go down the wrong way. Even his saliva, even though he's not fed in his mouth, his saliva goes down the wrong way into his airway, and he was having recurrent pneumonias and respiratory infections, having more prolonged hospitalizations, and in and out of the hospital a lot. And so they felt like his family needed the support of palliative care, and so he was referred to us, and his the acuity of his status at that point warranted and continues to warrant hospice level of care, which just kind of provides more support than our home-based palliative care program. This family is wonderful. They have fought for Aaron and fought over and he's had a lot of challenges, but they have fought for him to have his life be as good as possible and as high a quality of life as possible. And so we are certainly, that is inspiring to our team because it makes us just want to come alongside, well, what can we do to help you?
When I realized what Dr. Bell really had to offer, it was one day we had to take Aaron in because his symptoms wasn't up to par. And she said, well, take him in, I'm gonna call the ER before you get there, right? And so usually, I'm ready. I already had the speech down, and I got there, and it was like the red carpet was rolled out. Oh yeah, Dr. Bell, she spoke to us, and we're going to do this, and everything is going to work out well, and we're going to get you out of here as soon as possible. Yeah, so it's great knowing that that he has that type of support.
We've just been trying to learn how to adjust to having a child with special needs and having two little ones that need your attention too, all the time. But it's definitely been an adjustment. It's still an adjustment every day, trying to learn ways of helping everyone, helping all of them develop and grow. So I really do think, especially Serenity, since she's getting a little older and she's absorbing a little bit more things that are going on, that she's developing that relationship with her brother. Like, you know, this is my brother. And, you know, when people come in and start messing with him, she's looking at them, making sure they're doing, you know, what they're supposed to do. And so I really think as she gets older, she's just gonna be his rock, his protector, you know. And Gabriel, I imagine he'll be the same way, you know, as he gets older. And so I really like seeing them interacting like that, because I always want them to know that this is your big brother, you know. I want them to know everything he went through and what he's overcome, because I want them to carry that in their life, you know, as well.
As we look at Aaron every day, a miracle of him. Even he never speak or walk or what, just knowing that he still have breath. You know, that's the miracle that we will always treasure. You know, as long as he's having breath, enjoying it, you know, to wake up and to know somebody's touching him, know somebody's feeling him, you see his motions, you know, that's the miracle itself. And I'm grateful for God that he's brought that to show me how a miracle can be, not the way people wants them to be, him up walking and talking and everything, but life itself is a miracle, and that's the way I look at it.
And also too, knowing that his mom and dad didn't give up on him. You know, he may not understand that, but God understands that. One of the biggest impact in my life with the kids is when they came home to stay with us. So our home became granddaddy's daycare, because they can come.
Hospital.
They can come at any time. That was, you know, the loving thing about Aaron bringing life into our home, into our family, because he was not supposed to be here. And to see him being here for 5 years now, this is nothing but a miracle from God. God bless this family with little Aaron, and I'm very grateful for that.
The Wilsons, their faith is what inspires me. I'm inspired by how they have kept their hand in the hand of God, how they have just been steadfast in their faith as it pertains to Aaron.
They have exemplified love that truly perseveres. I'm excited to see how Aaron's story will encourage and inspire other parents that may be in a similar circumstance, or maybe one day will be, and maybe encouraged to fight and not to give up hope just because things might not look so good.
Working with Make-A-Wish has been a very great experience.
It's something that I'm really happy that, you know, our family decided to do. And we were trying to just come up with how can we best, you know, celebrate Aaron and what would be the best thing. And initially we thought about a vacation.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's really one of the first things you think about, right? Like where can we go and just relax and just get away? And but the more we thought about it, it was like even though we were going on vacation, is the vacation really, you know, for Aaron, or is it for the family? We thought the best way to help Aaron, to do the best thing that only Aaron can do, is to tell his story, and to have his story to be known, and allow people to understand that you can overcome.
He's just been such a blessing to this family. He's taught us, you know, about perseverance, and he's just taught me how to be a better mother. And I'm very proud of the fact that even though Aaron is nonverbal and he can't, you know, talk, his life has touched so many people.
It was a couple of days after Aaron was born, and we decided to go to the family waiting room outside of the NICU. There was a man there with his child who was in a specialized chair. And you can tell that she had some developmental delays. And he just looked over at us. And he said, God gives special children like this to special people. And I don't know if
he didn't know anything about us.
Yeah, if it was just on our face. But I learned, some people could ask, if there was a God or if God was love, why would Aaron be born this way? Why would your child be born this way? And my only understanding to that is because God is love, you are his parents. Because God is love, he has the support system that your child needs in order to have the best life that your child can have. And through that, it can be beneficial, not just to your child, not just to you, but it can be beneficial to anyone you allow that story to be told to. Aaron's life and his story just shows that if you want to survive, if you want to live, if you just want to continue to move forward, you can. And it's really up to you. We can't really know how much Aaron can comprehend. But one of the things that we do know is he has a will to never give up. And we would just love for that to be the greatest teaching moment that Aaron can give to our younger children and to just anyone. That as long as you are willing and as long as you want to, you can. Just don't give up.